know a lot of people have a lot of things to say. I want to ask first for questions because our panelists' time is very valuable.
I have a question for Rajiv. This debate was excellent and thank you very much to Vinny for hosting it. Should something happen in India of this kind? Do we need more Vinny judges in India to get this debate going? Because it doesn't help a lot if we have the discussion here and nothing happens in India.
Well, all I can say is that my book is generating this debate. We've had this several places while I was there, and I'm invited back to Jawaharlal Nehru University, which is a very sort of leftist university, very known for progressive ideas and all that, to do a one-day seminar on this book. And they'll have 4 panels with different topics being covered in the book. So it's being taken up by various people of various kinds of backgrounds, various professions, including, I might say, the defense studies people have reviewed it and discussed it because they see it as a sort of defense issue also. That if some of these separatist identities, all these mobilizations that are happening violently, before they turned violent, they were not violent, but their identity separation was being developed. And it happened in Rwanda also.
Right.
The question is directed to Mr. Malhotra. So you mentioned a lot about how targeted evangelization has sort of destroyed culture. You talked about assaults on Sanskrit and some of the epics and all that. My question is, what is, I mean, because like in my opinion, culture is like human expression. It's something that we need. But what is so sacred about culture that if indeed Christianity is a true religion, and if in the process of becoming Christian, some Indians sort of lose their former Hindu culture, what is so wrong?
Well, the question is whether if it is individuals sporadically, autonomously doing it, it's fine. But if it's an organized effort, if it's a systematic, organized effort, a corporate structure, which is changing people's behavior, whether it's McDonald's changing your eating habits, that's an issue people study. Scholars study that when there is an organized system to change people's behavior. So I'm looking at that. I'm not looking at Christianity as a problem or Jesus as a problem. I don't have a problem with Jesus at all. I have a problem with institutional mechanisms that are very aggressive in going and intruding and changing people's behavior. That's the only issue I'm talking about, which is not how culture has spontaneously evolved, changed, cross-fertilized in a more natural way in prior times. This is a very new phenomenon because of the power of certain groups which become very large.
May I have a comment on that? The human nature seeks for freedom. And we read books, we read different philosophies, we like to change. And this theory, conversion is a dangerous thing, changes culture, is un-Indian. Hindu people are very tolerant. They receive strangers and their hospitality is high. And this kind of restrictions to human freedom is unknown in India.
You see, diversity has to be reciprocal. So in the human body, we have many kinds of cells. And so the blood cell respects the skin, which is a different kind of cell, with the bone is different. And every type of cell is diverse. There are many kinds of diversities. But when a cell comes and says, I'm a cancer and I want to convert you to be like me and I will expand, and the cancer is a more homogeneous kind of creature. Medically, a cancer cell is not diverse. It has got homogeneity in it. And it wants to replicate and expand and turn other people over. Now, if the body says, yeah, we are welcoming everybody, it will actually die. And the foolishness of the cancer is that when the body dies, it also dies because it cannot sustain unless it can keep expanding.
It's a very wrong analogy.
Any homogeneous system. See.
Yeah.
Mine is a very basic question. This is to Mr. Thomas. Does Christianity or missionaries, do you respect other religions? Do you respect the Native American religion? Do you respect the Hawaiian religion? Do you respect the African religions? Do you respect, I don't want to ask, of course, Hinduism, that's what we are, Mayan religion. Of course, I don't want to include biblical religion. Everybody knows how much you each other respect. So tell me that, does your religion teach us this?
we talked about this. Your information about missionary movement, Christianity,
Starting from Pope.
comes from certain sections of Christians, and that's not the whole Christian community. And we talked about this.
Pope is
There-
not the Christian community?
There is a what?
Pope is not the Christian community? It comes from
I
Pope.
am talking about some popes have been very conservative and evangelistic, and
There's
other
only one
popes,
pope.
There's only one Pope.
and some popes have been. There have been a lot of popes in history. Come
There's
on,
only one pope.
you are Princeton people. Come on, and some Christians are narrow-minded. They don't understand other religions, and we don't convert. Mainline churches do not convert. We do a lot of charity work, and people who convert are those who believe in Jesus only people, and we don't. Most mainline churches don't believe that, don't say that, and don't share that.
Reverend Thompson, is there a single example where a mainline church has gone and said, in the interest of religious diversity, we'll go to this Native American place or this African place or wherever, and we'll build them their house of worship? We got so much money, these guys don't. One of the things we'll do is we'll build a Mayan temple, or we'll build a Native American house of worship, or we'll build a Hindu temple in a Hindu community, because there are a lot of examples in the other direction.
Well, you are
where
stretching too much. Come on, let's be realistic here.
But the destruction of those culture, those religions, is a recorded fact and part of Christian history. You cannot deny that.
Indian culture is never destroyed by Christianity.
But now it is.
It's a
We
3%.
need to move on. We need to keep this
It's a
moving.
3% Christians.
If we want to have a healthy dialogue, we need to keep this moving and give people an opportunity.
Mr. Malhotra, I like your word Western intervention. Yes, there was Western intervention. When the British went there, they asked the Hindus, India, do you have any laws? They said, yes, Manu Dharma. And they saw the discrimination there. For the same crime, a Sudra has to lose his life, and a Brahmin has to lose his hair, that is equivalent to losing his life. That is in Manu Dharma. Deny me that. Hindu is not in the Vedas. And the British saw that 3% Brahmins controlling 97% of the rest of the population. That is when the action came, like affirmative action. It did not come in Indian government. It came in the British government and the Justice Party, like Periyar India time.
Yeah.
That is when the progress started, okay? Now tell me, you talked about Tamil. Tolkappiyam is an ancient literature. The Chaturvarna, Chaturvarna Maya system, that is Bhagavad Gita and your philosophy. The Dravidian philosophy was Pirapokkum Ella Uyirkum. All are equal on birth. Can you deny me that there is a difference between the Dravidian culture and the Aryan Brahminical culture?
So that's the question. Is there a distinction?
Sorry,
So, what are you saying?
I want to just make a comment on that one.
Sure, go ahead.
You are only saying Chaturvani Maya system. That's the next thing that says Gunakarma Vibhavasya, that's a Kartaram Vibhima Vidhi Akartaram Vibhima. The person who made is me and who is not made is also me. Okay? And similarly when Malhotra said Pirapukum Ella Uyirkum, he also at the same time says Marapinum Otu Kulavum Parpan Pirapurukum. Where is the Pirapurukum comes from? Apart from. So there is so many things, like if you go and look into all these literature,
You see,
you can't just see one line and
Basically, it's a cut and paste, selectively
cut
pick
and
a
paste.
few things from here and there.
Difference of culture, accept the difference of culture between the Brahminism and the Dravidian culture.
For some reason, that's what
Okay, we are moving on. We're moving on.
there was no difference, and again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Okay, do you have a question?
You were talking about the Baptist church intervention in northeast of India. Is there any recorded violence against the Hindus in those areas as a part of this?
Of course, of course. There's a huge amount of violence in the northeast where, if you are from another part of India, you come and you're looked down upon as an intruder, as somebody who doesn't belong there, and Hindus are not able to have. This is in India. It is not only Hindus aren't able to celebrate and have their temples, and Christians should investigate why while they're complaining to the US Congress about attacks on Christianity, which should not happen, I agree with you, why aren't they also bringing to the attention the other way around, where the Christians are in a majority, the Hindus are not able to worship, and Hindus are feeling suppressed. My co-author is from Kanyakumari, and Kanyakumari has now become majority Christian, and he has got pages and pages of evidence that he sent me. I did not put it in the book because it was already very large. Huge amount of incidents where attacks are against Hindus right in his area, and this has changed in the last 10 years. So the oppression of
VHP attacks Christians in Kanyakumari.
Oh, they are a minority. You see, you cannot just have this boogeyman, this taboo of always criticize some mysterious force that is doing it.